Future reports, I mentioned some of those. We now are to the public comment on non-agenda items.
Excuse me, Trustee Kellogg, can I add a future report?
I'm sorry, can you add what?
On future reports, I'd like to add a request for future report
You can,
for a future board agenda.
or?
Yes. I'd like to ask for the thresholds to be looked at for change orders and contract amendments as we discussed today. So as a body that we look at it and perhaps look at the communications report that the communications committee is working on, and to see how we can effectively work together.
I know it won't be the next meeting, and after that, I will not be in the chair, so I'll let everyone else try to organize that. As far as the communication, that is part of, we were intended to have that part of our retreat on the 28th to give an update on those items from the communication committee.
What time the retreat's going to start?
Retreat starts? Yes, I do. 9 a.m.
Oh, wow.
From 9 a.m. to 3.
Well, where is it going to be?
And it will be held right here. I don't mean, well, across the way. So, but on the campus. So as I said, it's a lot of items, but I know that is one of the items we wanted to have on there as well. So I can't tell you exactly when to try to schedule it, but so noted. So we now are to the point of public comments on non-agenda items. We do have two speakers. I'll start with Joseph Rosenwald. He actually, and thank you, Joseph, for bringing me back to the Long Beach City Council days. You have taken out 3 cards, so I will break this down. The first you speak, it is on item, and that is the one on the Long Beach City action related to funding to Long Beach City College for Small Business Initiative. So you have 3 minutes on that item, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, President Kellogg. P. Joseph Rosenwald, honorable members of the board, assembled faculty, executives, and students, and people who are on video feed. I spoke tonight at the Long Beach City Council opposing agenda item 3 on the consent calendar, which was to give $115,000 to the Small Business Development Center. I couched my remarks in that I really didn't want this to occur. I wanted the college and the city to work together on improving 309 North Pine Avenue. It is a disgrace. The windows are dirty. The magazine rack has amassed magazines which are over a year old. There's no sign on the window that suggests where to call for information about small business development or international trade. The building is owned by the city, and I do not see why it's not possible for the city and the college to get together and improve this site. It's a disgrace. Here you have dirty windows, you have people ignoring the building. The relations manager or the business relations officer at Chase said he didn't know how he could have any contact with people at this building. And the receptionists at F&M, it's a mystery to them because no one's ever in the building. The council passed the consent calendar, but I can only say I'm interested in seeing something happen here, and I will take this matter beyond the college and the city if nothing is done about it within, I would say, 6 weeks. Thank you very much. I invite all of you to go down to 309 Pine and take a look at this building. Take your finger and rub it along the window. You'll come up with a lot of dirt on your finger.
All right, thank you. And the next item you have, a non-agenda item, is for the campus crime report from our last meeting. One moment before, so she can reboot.
Thank you.
Or does it not allow you to reboot? One moment. There you go. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I wish to comment on Lieutenant Julie Pryor's report that she gave at the last board meeting. There was no mention made of a case which was dismissed in the Superior Court of the State of California, George Deukmejian Courthouse, concerning John Kindred. It was case number 4LG00622, one count of 626.2 Penal Code misdemeanor. The case was dismissed by paragraph 1385 of the Penal Code, and that's kind of unusual that it's done that way. Usually, you don't get a complete dismissal. And I would have liked to have heard something about the dismissal of this arrest. I want to tell you some of the things that Mr. Kindred endured, because I don't think that they've been adequately stated. I've watched him speak before, not that he's not being able to express himself, but at the June 7th, 2014 meeting of the Gray Panthers at the Senior Center, he described the treatment he received after being arrested by the City College Long Beach Police Department at the liberal arts campus. Arrest papers had never been served. They were never filled out. 6 officers arrested him at the Civic Engagement Long Beach City College Club, a meeting that there was no real grounds, I don't think, for his arrest. While being transported to the police building headquarters at 400 Broadway, he was told his jail stay would take approximately 3 to 4 hours. He was actually held for 3 days. At booking, his medical needs for vision and knee brace were ignored until Mr. Kindred was able to convince the jailers of his serious medical conditions, which for all intents and purposes were ignored only after extraordinary efforts by Mr. Kindred to have them dealt with. The shower and cell conditions were filthy, and this is the second person that said this to me. A community activist by the name of David Zink, Z-I-N-K, said the same thing, and he said it in the presence of the deputy city manager, Arturo Sanchez. Prisoners occupying the cell with him told him that the person who was assigned to the mattress prior to his arrival was HIV positive. There was no attempt to clean the mattress or give him anything to clean it with. 4 requests which he made for jail telephone for release on his own recognizance were ignored by jail staff. It was only after seeing a judge that OR was granted his own release. He'd lived in Long Beach for years and had a clean record. A public defender who visited him in jail tried to get him to plead no contest, nolo contendere, in spite of the fact that he believed the charges were false. The public defender apparently did not want to provide a reasonable defense, and Mr. Kindred refused his inappropriate assistance. Upon release from jail, Mr. Kindred's medical appliances and house keys were not returned in a timely manner, causing both...
Joseph, your time has expired on this item.
I would ask for another minute on this.
You know, you've still got one more 3-minute session coming up, so I'm going to move. Then you're now on. I'm sorry. Wait till we get going. We're now to the board member issue.
Facts. Yes, the board member issue I'll get to very shortly. These facts and others made by Mr. Kindred allegedly demonstrate institutional dishonesty, failure to properly care for property, his brace, failure to employ reasonable custodial medical practices, failure to investigate charges, improper detention, misuse of authority, inadequate food security, deficient maintenance and jail operations, complaint by racial background, Mr. Kindred is of African American descent, and lack of adequate supervision of jail operations by police department command and supervisory staff at the jail. And now the final thing that I want to talk about is board civility. I would like to see more civility at this board. Tonight I heard the comment made, narrative, that Ms. Zia was involved in a narrative. I don't think that's appropriate language. I don't like the past things where people said, you're impugning our reputation. And not just involving Ms. Zia, the discussion between Dr. Baxter and President Kellogg over her second, I also thought was not involving civility. And I'm asking all of you to try and work on this, because I would like to see a board working together and working to take care of business in a professional manner. With regard to the police, I can only shake my head and say, just like a gentleman said at church number 1 at 70th Street, the last command structure of the police department meeting for the public, he said he'd like to see the Department of Justice investigate the jail. I asked that the jail be investigated of the Citizen Police Complaint Commission. In April of 2014, it was apparently investigated 11 months later. The lobby of the police department doesn't have one sign in any other language except English. I've been trying to get that changed. It's not your job as the board of
And
trustees,
exactly
but you should
right.
know.
Keep it
but
on
you
our
should
subject
know,
matter, please.
Yes, excuse me. You should know that these conditions exist from the police department that you contract with. And I don't think that these are indications that they're doing a very good job. And I'd like to see the report on Mr. Kindred included as an addendum or something, because the charges were dropped, and I don't know where they were in the report. I couldn't figure it out. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, last speaker, Chris Pravat, public comment. And by the way, my reference was the city council. We actually had where multiple items could be requested by an individual. I believe the city council during my tenure actually changed the policy to have the speaker could speak on the non-agenda items, but not on different agenda items. But that is not our policy that I'm aware of right here. So thus, that's why the gentleman was given 3 different opportunities to speak. Chris, the floor is yours.
Hello, Chris Pravat again. Thank you very much. It's been a rather interesting and entertaining afternoon and evening. Recalling the conversations that y'all had about internal controls, and I got to kind of chuckle. Internal controls, you're not worried about $175,000 in contracts, but you should be worried, because if you can get $10,000 worth of a raise through the payroll system, I think without board approval, I think you got an internal control problem. Maybe I'm wrong. It was today. You had a training on the Brown Act, and it's too bad that your district council wasn't able to be here. He might have learned something. Mr. Covert doesn't seem to understand the Brown Act, and he certainly had a good presentation today. I would like to note that it appears that everything I had raised in my previous concerns related to your Brown Act compliance seem to be verified as reasonable concerns for me to raise and possible violations. I look forward in the future to y'all changing the way you do business, cease having salary discussions for your chief executive in private, provide public access to the same documents that the board has, that the Board of Trustees has, at the time of the meeting at least, beforehand if possible, and ensure that your simple agenda and your full agenda match. And I think Jackie Hahn has actually figured that out. It's a new system for her in the board docs, and it looks like if you just put the description of the item in the subject line, that makes it work, and it goes across both agendas so you don't trip yourself up and end up with 2 different agendas. I am kind of curious, agenda item 3.2, which was on the letter that I had written to y'all previously, it says conference with council. Funny, I've not seen Mr. Covert here tonight. What's up with that? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. There's no other items before the board this time. We do have a second closed session that we will adjourn to. When we do come back out, though, I will just make the announcement again that our meeting will be on July 28th with our retreat and our session beginning at 5 right here. But at this time, we will recess, adjourn to closed session. Yes.
Let the vice presidents know that they don't need to be in closed session.
But you will come back out and report out, okay?
Vice Presidents, we are in a closed session. The only remaining item is the Superintendent President evaluation. So the Vice Presidents are not needed for the closed session, but we will be reporting back out. All right. I don't know when we'll report out, but we'll report out.